Good evening, friends, followers, channel members. Happy Friday! Oh, I like Friday night streams. What a great way to end the week. Seems like I haven't had actually that many live streams for a while now, but as we're gearing up towards Christmas, things obviously getting busy. Hopefully over the Christmas period, though, we'll have a few. So how's everyone doing? Hope you've all had a great week. We're off to Malaga tonight, aren't we? Yeah, just needed to do a quick paranoia check there. Are we going to Malaga? We are going to Malaga from Barcelona. Sadly, not a real world route. Well, not for EasyJet anyway. I think Vueling fly this route in the real world, and probably Ryanair because they fly everywhere. But yeah, not a real world route for EasyJet, or certainly not recently. But never mind. Using our designated call sign of Alpine 34 Alpha Mike this evening. So, good evening to everyone who is already on board. Thank you for joining us. Who have we got? Hello to our channel members, Christopher, Quantum Mechanic, Chalty, good to see you, Ferran, Brian, Dark Fury as well is here as well. Ferran, this is your home airport, isn't it? Great to see. Cardinal 22 and Terry, hello to you guys. Thank you for coming on board. Chalty, how's the hard graft going? Some fantastic pictures on our Discord channel of your 3D printed throttle quadrant for your. It's for a Boeing, but we'll let you off because it looks amazing. Those pictures really are good. And a big welcome on board to our other viewers this evening. Hello to AP Travels, Mark Burgess. Glad we managed to sort you out with the problem you were having. Roll Call TV. Hello, Deffy Hunter. Great to see you. Lawrence DK. Good to have you on board once again. Mark as well. Good to see you. And what's next? What's next? You've never flown before with me, but you kind of want to. You stupidly started a flight already and won't land for another 1.5, 2 hours or so. Well, there you go. Never mind. Wherever you're flying to, I hope you're having a great flight. Hello to Jensen Phillips, Andy, and Neil Dawkins Velox as well. Good to see you. Frank Luigi Abbott, hello to you, and indeed to everyone else. Christopher, thanks you for calling up our Discord server. Right, well, hopefully not too much to cause us that many issues tonight. Just going to check the latest METAR from both here and see what's happening in Malaga. There was a chance it could get a little bit windy in Malaga later on. So let me just check that out. What have we currently got? So the weather in Malaga at the moment is, oh yeah, so wind is 300 at 19, gusting 29 knots. Now we're planning to land on runway 31, I think it is. I'm going to have to make a note of that because... Yeah, runway 31. We're planning on landing on runway 31, so obviously that's not a true headwind, but that gust will obviously play a little factor when we come in. Let me give the guys watching on YouTube. I'm going to pin in the chat our operational flight plan. Oh, well, I was going to. Oh, there it is. For some reason, I'd lost my live chat window. Anyway, operational flight plan for anyone that wants to check it out is now pinned in the YouTube stream, so we can go ahead and have a look at that. Let's get on board, and then we can have a check out on the tablet as well, shall we? So now we're on board. Let's get that flight pad turned on. I have to say I'm still absolutely loving the simulator even more since I did the full reinstall the other day. Really, really good. I have noticed as well though, I'm going to turn the flight pad off once I've finished using it because you can save some frame rates as well that way. So let's just get our information from SimReef and then we'll have a look at what fuel we're going to be taking on board with us tonight. So here you go, here's our operational flight plan. Plug fuel is just over 5 tons, close to 5.1 tons. We're going to take a little bit more with us than that, just because I already know that the weather is getting a little bit blustery down in Malaga. Nothing we shouldn't be able to handle, but even so. And you can have a look at this. Yeah, there's a probability of 40 of it temporarily becoming gusts up to 40 knots. And again, we're landing on runway 31. Headwind is 32. So hopefully shouldn't cause us too many troubles. It's not like a 40-knot crosswind or anything. But even so, we're going to add some extra fuel on board. Half a ton should be half a ton should be fine. I can't see there being any reason why we can't get in. And we've obviously actually got enough fuel to get back to... where's our alternate today? Is it... I've forgotten where that is. I selected that and I've still forgotten where it is. It's not that far away actually. I'm sure one of you guys will remind me. It'll come to me in a moment. So we're going to take, if we take 5.6 ton, that's half a ton extra. That shouldn't be an issue. So we will take 5.6 ton, which with the contingency is 0.7 extra for our fuel checks. Let's go ahead and start getting that loaded up. What did I just say? 5.6. So apologies if I'm missing any questions that you guys may be having just while we're getting this all set up. Right, so our estimated takeoff weight now is going to be about 65 and a half tons. That's being conservative, of course. Right, we'll get that APU started as well. Yeah, our frame rates now are so much better than they were pre-update. Oh, HD, hello mate. I've just messaged you. A performance for 65.5 tons should do us off runway 25 left via Gulf 3, if that all makes sense. So let's get the APU started. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And performance calculations have just come through. Thank you very much. Right, so we'll let the APU fire up, and I've got the aircraft in a turnaround state. We'll go ahead and get that all checked out, and then we shall start listing passengers on board. So, with that, current QNH here is 1009, and refueling page is open, and skid is on. Just come down and check the pedestal. Everything's where that should be. We're currently on Unicom. There's no ATC here. On the guard frequency on VHF2. And flight deck door is open. Switching panel, thrust masters, engine masters. Sorry, thrust levers, engine masters, start switch, spoilers, flaps, parking brake, all good. Transponder is fine. Let's come up. Our initial climb out for this is going to be 6,000 feet, so I'll go ahead and set that there. Flight directors 1 and 2 on. Pop the constraints on as well. Instrument panel is all good. And we'll just check IRS alignment has finished, I believe. Let's just check data page. IRS, there we go, 3.5 green. It's not that long a taxi. It's not as long as not as long as you think. It's not like Amsterdam. We've got plenty of fuel for the taxi. So ATSU menu. How's that APU doing? APU's available. APU bleed on. Start that chrono. Get the passengers on board once that's had a minute or so to run. So init press 1 hour 11 minutes. I'm just going to add the passenger weight instantly. Now I've set that up in the flypad, so that's boom, that's all done, and we can double check our zero fuel weight is 60. There it is, yeah, 59.972. So yeah, 60. Happy with all of that. Give it another 30 seconds. We'll start getting those passengers actually on board. So we'll check the IRS and we'll check the aircraft status, correct engines, and we've also got a valid AirX cycle. So let's do our init press, let that all get pulled in, give it another 10 seconds, and we'll start with our passengers on board. HD, you need to be in bed with the lights off by 10 PM so the pressure is on. Me too, HD. Right, that's 1 minute. Let's not hang around then. Pack one on, and we'll start getting the passengers on board. We can do that. Let's be away in the next 30-40 minutes or so.
Cabin crew, we're all happy with how things are up here, so we'll problem.
Ooh, hello. Which jetway's coming? I thought it was going to be this one. Clearly not. Alright, well, never mind. I don't care which one works, as long as the passengers are coming. Right, well, whilst they sort themselves out, let's go ahead and fill out the box. So, Lima Echo Zulu Lima is our alternate. And EasyJet Europe Alpine 3 for Alpha Mike. Cost index of 51390. Temperature is -67, so there's a big enough discrepancy there for me to want to edit that. And the tropo is all the 4s on the operational flight plan. That's easy enough to pop in, isn't it? There we go. So the flight plan calls for our departure is going to be 25 left. And that's the Lotus 4 Quebec. And insert that once it's loaded. There we go. Our arrival then is Malaga, runway 31. 31 Zulu. And our initial initial approach fix is hang on, before we do that, what's our star? It's the Vibaz 1 Zulu. Oh, that's interesting. Strange. Let me double check this. Vibaz 1 Zulu, runway 31. How weird. Okay, well, is there anything else we can use? Because that doesn't appear to be showing. Quick check on Navigraph. Let's check our approaches. Runway 31 and the arrivals. So it's having a look really what is going to be available to us. So let's just work through all these from the top. We don't want Juliet Romeo Zulu, that's no good, that's the other side. Victor Juliet Fox, that is the other side. Bravo Lima November is Bravo no, that's a possibility actually. Okay, Bravo Lima November 2 Quebec is a possibility, but I would have to edit it. I think that's it, isn't it? Pimos and Gonza. What are they? Let me just check. Yep, okay, I am going to go then with, so here's what we're going to have to do. Let's call it a navigation database error. So the one that I wanted to use was Vibaz 1 Zulu. For some reason that's not showing, so instead we're going to have to use Bravo Lima November 1 Zulu, unless actually I wonder if we could just pop these waypoints in. Oh no, we can't. They haven't all got names. If they got names, that would have been much easier. Okay, let's go with this original plan then. Let me pull up the chart for Bravo Lima November 1 Zulu. See if we can find that. Oh, it's the same chart actually. Ah, right. The fact that it's the same chart, that's the same start. So it's the entrance point that's going to be different. Okay, let's go with it and then we'll check it out. The VIA is PZAV, so that's okay. Oh, hang on. The transition... We'll leave that blank. No transition. Right, let's check this out then. So, the departure looks good. I'll come back and double check that in a minute. But let's see how messed up the arrival looks at the other end. Actually, that didn't look too bad at all. Need to find the waypoint in there, which is Rolas. Is that in there anywhere? No, I can't see that. Okay, back to the operational flight plan. Let's check what we have got and make sure everything matches up. It's a pain when this doesn't work, doesn't it? So, so I'm just cross-referencing all our waypoints now against the operational flight plan as to what we've got in the McDo. So, we should have Dikut Sopet Valencia, and then after that we should have Sierra Astro Pobos, Zibar Yes Mamis, and from Mamis we should have then Bazas Vibas. Then after Vibas, that's where it starts to go a little bit astray. We should have after Vibas Mozuk, after Mozuk we've then got Delta 064 X-ray, double check that, Delta 064 X-ray. After Delta 064 X-ray it's Golf Delta Alpha 25. So we're just manually building up this star now. And then after Golf Delta Alpha 25, it's Golf Delta Alpha 36. And then after that, it is PZAV, and then we're on the final approaches. Right, insert. Let's check out what that looks like now. Quick flick through, make sure those waypoints that we've entered manually are correct. There's Viabas, Mosuk. There it is. And if we check that against the chart, that looks spot on. Nice, okay. Alright, happy to move on with that. That looks good. Thankfully the passengers are still boarding. Let's see if we can rattle through the rest of this setup. So now the flight plan's sorted, onto the RadNav page. We can pop in the Bravo Charlie November on there. Situational awareness. Onto the Init B page. Is our refueling completed? Yes, it has. So we have got trip wind of, where's that gone? Top of the flight plan. Tailwind of 12. And our zero fuel weight is 60, 25.1, fuel planning 4.2, we've got 5.5. Quantum, did I update the Navigraph data in the sim after reinstalling? Oh yeah, because the entire PC was wiped. So it was a fresh Windows install. Everything has been reinstalled and updated. Takeoff weight of 65.3, excellent. The performance figures I gave to HD then will be, or that I got from HD will be accurate, because that's based on 65.5 tons. So let's go ahead and pop all of that in. So onto the perf page. Transition altitude is 6,000 feet. Thrust reduction acceleration is 1,008 feet. So that's the simulator rounding it up to 1,010. Engine acceleration is the same. Flaps 1. A flex of 62. And those V speeds of 136, 136, 139. And green dot clean speed is 216 in the real world, 217 here in the sim, so not a million miles away. Great stuff. That's all looking good. Now, one other thing I want to pop in here while I'm there, max speed 210 knots during that first turn. That shouldn't be too much of an issue, as that turn happens quite quickly after departure, but I'll talk about that in a moment. So we're going to fly the first turn at S speed, which is 194. I say, I don't think it's going to be an issue, but we'll pop that in there now. So just so that's pre-selected. Alright, passengers are still boarding. Let's talk about the briefing. So first of all, the weather here in Barcelona looks fantastic. We'll notice, of course, that we are not on live time. We are on live weather, but we are not on live time. But the weather here is nice. No problems getting back in here if we've got a problem. 2 good runways for us to use should we have to return. And our current gross weight is still below the maximum landing weight, so we don't need to worry about being overweight for our landing. The aircraft is the A320NX from Fly-by-Wire, developer build, but this is the version which has the TCAS still under testing as far as I'm aware. No known times to be aware of here in Barcelona that are going to affect us. Threats to be aware of: we've got high terrain to the north of the airport. Minimum safe altitude north is and west, actually northwest is 4,300 feet. So if anything went wrong, whatever happens, we make sure we make a left-hand turn, but I'll talk about that in a moment. Minimum safe altitude, of course, then out over the Med is 3,200 feet. So that's our main threat, the terrain to the north, as we can see just there. Let's talk about how we're going to do our taxi and departure then. So we are parked stand 113, and we're in westerly configuration at the moment at the airfield. So 113, we're going to push back onto Bravo 7. From there we'll taxi Golf November Echo, cross runway 25 right, down on Echo, cross runway 02, not currently in use, and then onto Kilo, all the way down to, we can take Golf 3. So on takeoff, a couple of things to note. We need to make a turn almost straight after departure, certainly no later, I think it is. Let me just check this. Environmental issues, except for safety reasons. Turning to the left will begin no later than reaching 500 feet. So a nice early turn for us just there. Do not shoot the Barcelona Rail 235 on that initial turn, and we can see that just here. If I wanted to, we could go ahead and pop this in the fixes page. So if I went to the flight plan, did I say 25 left? Correction, I'm not crossing runway 25 left. That's the one we're departing on. We're crossing runway 25 right. So that fixing throw, which is Bravo November. No, it isn't. It's Bravo Charlie November. And pop that in. That radial that we're not allowed to cross is 235. Oh, HD, you want us to go the full way around? Are you wanting us to go all the way down west and then along the bottom? If ATC were online, they may tell us to do that, but that's the difference between you and me. I'm in the simulator. SS Plays, thank you so much for your €5 donation. Sorry that I did miss that SS a few minutes ago. Thank you so much. Very, very kind of you. And hello to you. Hope you have a great flight with us. Yeah, so I am going to cheat. I am going I am taking the shortcut. I thought I'd said 25 right, but my PM doing his job there. Right, let me go back and just pop that radial in, which we're not allowed to cross, which is 235. We should see that then. There it is. That should make a little bit more sense now. So we're not allowed to. Essentially, we're not allowed to go north of that line as we're departing. But it's nice line of departure, so the autopilot will be on nice and quickly after our takeoff. There is a speed restriction. We've already spoken about that. Max bank 20. So. Sorry, not maximum bank, minimum bank of 20. And we can obviously do that, no problem. So let's just quickly check about our departure brief. Usual stuff on the ground, stop the aircraft, etc. And inform everybody on Unicom. The important thing to remember is failures before V1. Failure before V1. And up to 100 knots I'll consider stopping, but after 100 knots then I'll only take off for the uninhibited decam warnings, engine fire failure, with or without thrust lost, etc. Failure after V1, I'll get the aircraft into the air and fly using the standard technique. Toggle will be available to us as well, because we're going to be doing a flex takeoff today, and once we're above 400 feet we'll confirm the failure. And once the engine is secured and we're above the single engine acceleration, then we'll level off, accelerate, retract the flaps on schedule. It's standard engine out procedure here. We'll fly straight ahead and 1600 feet, a left turn to the Lesba holding point. Something else that I can pop in using the fixes page. So let's go ahead and do that, and then I think we'll almost be about ready to go.
Hi Gavin, all the passengers are on board and we're ready to go. I'll bring you a cup of tea after we've taken off.
Excellent.
Okay, everything is all set. Final check that ATC hasn't come online. Oh, Barcelona Tower is now online. We're going to have to give him a chat. HD, I may get that long taxi after all. Right, let's contact Barcelona Tower, which is 118.1. Just before we do that, actually, let me just check the ATIS, so we've got the correct information for them when we do contact them.
The news from IAF. Check FMS, expect 1 Whiskey approach transitions for runway 25 right. High intensity runway operations in force. Transition level 075. Surface wind 310 degrees, 10 knots. Variable between 270 and 340 degrees. Visibility 0 kilometers or more. To 4,000 feet.
Okay, over to tower, and let's see what we've got. What's the SID I'm expecting for this? So we're expecting Lotus 4 cubic. And before I do that, let's close the door so that the passengers aren't in our way. 118.1. Barcelona Tower, good evening, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, type A320 Neo, stand 113, requesting IFR clearance as file to Malaga, and we have information Alpha.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, good evening. Information Charlie is current, runway 25 left, and QNH 1009 up. you are clear to Malaga, runway 25 left, Lotus for Quebec departure. Initially climb 6,000 feet and squawk 6213.
Cleared via departure runway 25 left, Lotus for Quebec departure, squawk 6213, and we'll go for information Charlie, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike.
34 Alpha Mike, is that correct?
Oh, I wonder what we're going to get with regards to our taxi. Do you think he'll be kind? Do you think he'll give us a shortcut? That's the squawking. Check that initial climb, 6,000 feet. All is good there. Right, we're almost ready to run our before start checks.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of myself, the First Officer, and the cabin crew, may I welcome you on board this EasyJet aircraft well flight today. The ground crew and the fueling crew have all finished, and we're just about finished with all our cockpit preparation up here. The cabin
Last station, reliability 1.
through the cabin, so if you could please get yourselves sat down comfortably with your seatbelts securely fastened and give them their full attention as they begin their safety briefing. A big welcome on board today to our EasyJet Sim Pilot members, who of course are welcome to free complimentary drinks throughout the flight. Once we reach our cruising altitude, our cabin service will commence and the cabin crew will be able to provide you with drinks, snacks and merchandise throughout the duration of the flight. Once again, I'd like to thank you for choosing to fly with EasyJet today. We'll have an update for you when we are airborne.
Okay, before start checklist, to the line. Cockpit preparation is almost complete. I keep forgetting that. Chuck it on auto. There we go. Cockpit preparation is complete. Signs are on and auto. Ideas, we checked 3 nav green. That fuel quantity is 5580 kilograms balanced. FMGS is set. Altimeter is 1009.
Cabin crew, we're all ready to go, so please arm the doors and cross-check. Thank you.
Tower, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, stand 113. We're ready for push and start.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, push and start approved. QNH 1009 now.
Push and start approved. QNH 1009, and please confirm facing west.
Negative, facing south, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike.
Push and start facing south. Alpine 34 Alpha Mike. Facing south. Didn't expect that. Hang on. Quick check so I know what we're doing. 113 pushing back facing south. Is he going to want us on Golf November?
5 Whiskey radio check.
Ryanair 15 Whiskey, good evening, 35.
I think I'm going to have to check because I am not 100% sure what he's wanted us to do there. Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, regarding the pushback, are you wanting us pushing facing to taxi on to Golf November?
A-firm, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike.
Roger, thank you, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike. Right, all the way around, pushing back onto Golf November, fair enough.
Tower, Ryanair 15 Whiskey, A320 Neo, information Charlie, stand 109, requesting IFR clearance to Malaga.
Ryanair 15 Whiskey, information Charlie, Curran. You are clear to Malaga, active runway 25 left, departure via Lotus for Quebec. Initially climb 6,000 feet and squawk 6204.
Clear to Malaga, runway 25 left by the Lotus 4Q departure, initial climb 6,000, squawk 6204, Ryanair 15 Whiskey.
15 Whiskey, read that correct.
And we are, Ryanair 15 Whiskey is ready for push and start.
Ryanair 15 Whiskey, stand by. There is an Alpine A320 pushing.
That's the Ryanair 15 Whiskey.
Looks like we are going to get the shortcut anyway, so we're pushing back now on to Golf November. He's now pushback tug is in place. We're all good. Let's go.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
We are cleared for start and push. Parking brake set.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
Okay, slow that down. Let's get our engine started. Engine mode selector to ignition. Paranoia check. Bleed is on. Starting engine 1. Just looking at the configuration of this taxiway, it's not foolproof, not perfect, so I think he wants us going down. Yeah, Golf November is going to be
Ladies and gentlemen,
this one just
we now
here.
ask for your attention while we take you through the safety procedures on this aircraft. A safety card.
The
is in
signs
your
won't
seat
help us
pocket
on this
showing the
occasion,
exit
unfortunately.
routes, oxygen masks, life jackets, and brace position that you must adopt if you hear brace, brace.
Can 15 whiskey, push and start the roof.
Or in the middle.
Push and start the roof into the taxiway and QNH 1009.
Exit. Please be aware that your nearest exit may be behind you.
HD, I wasn't paying
In
attention
an
either. No,
emergency,
completely
leave
forgot those
all
whilst trying to
cabin
sort out
baggage
my
on board.
routing for this taxi.
Your seatbelt is fastened.
Can you just confirm pushing back into the taxiway around 15 whiskey?
It must be fastened when the seat...
15 whiskey, sir. Taxi pushing to the taxiway.
But the windows and doors were closed and armed. The beacon light was on. I did do a paranoia check on the beacon light actually. Mobile phone is on silent and parking brake was indeed set.
Put the
Bit
mask
late now,
over your
but there you go.
nose and mouth. Hold in place with the strap. Pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own mask before helping others. If we land on water, take the life jacket from under your seat. Put it over your head. Pass the tapes around your waist. Click together and pull the strap to adjust.
Starting
Do
engine
not
2.
inflate it inside the aircraft. When outside, inflate by pulling the toggle. If it fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow into the tube. There is a light and whistle for attracting attention. We also carry flotation aids for children. Your tray table must now be stowed, armrest down, window blinds open, and seatbelt fastened. We wish you a pleasant flight with EasyJet.
So we're going to kind of push back here. We just got the Ryanair. Who's flying Ryanair? He wanted us facing south, didn't he? I'm not completely happy with where we're going. But there's Golf November. Actually, that taxiway number is correct. So there's Golf November. I'm going to just pop us back, keep us nice and safe here. Otherwise, that Ryanair is going to go straight into the taxiway that I think he wants us to. He wants us to take. Okay, let's go back straight, just there. Get that nose wheel nice and straight, and we'll hold here.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brake set. Ground. Startup is complete. You may disconnect.
Roger. Good engine start. Cleared to disconnect. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Holding position waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
Loving the AIG liveries that we get. I must have seen about 4 or 5 different Ryanair liveries since I've installed it. Really nice. Anyway, after start flows. Spoilers, rudder, flaps, and 25.4. Okay, after start checklist, anti-ice is off, ECAM status is checked, pitch trim is 25.4, rudder trim is set. Zero.
I risk it for taxi.
Ryanair 15 Whiskey, confirm you are facing east.
Facing east.
While we let the air traffic controller sort this mess out, let's do our flight control check, shall we? Full left, full right, neutral. Full up, full down, neutral rudder, full right, rudder, full left, and neutral. We're now just blowing the rats back into the terminal. Oh, Christian, you were a bit more polite. We're getting rid of all the leaves in front of the stand. Let's ding the cabin.
Hold the Echo 7 by Golf November. Ryanair 15 Whiskey.
Christian, that is dark in the lovely looking Ryanair aircraft. At least it looks like a 737. In fact, Doc, what are you flying? Are you flying a 737 Ryanair? Or are you flying the A320 in a strange Ryanair livery? Because obviously that won't show up. Okay, right, we've got the pushback tug is clear. Let's tell them we're ready to go. Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, we're ready for taxi.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, taxi to holding point Echo 7 via Golf November.
Hold at Echo 7 via Golf November, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike.
Ryanair 15 Whiskey, clear to cross runway 25 right and continue taxiing to holding point runway 25 left via Echo and Kilo.
Approved to cross runway 25 left, down on Echo and Kilo to holding point Golf 2, Ryanair 15 Whiskey.
So we shall follow our beautiful Dark Fury in the Ryanair livery. We've got to hold at Echo 7, which is basically just before runway 25 right. I don't know if there is any other aircraft coming in on finals. Can't see anything. When we come into land, we should be coming in more or less at sunset, which would be quite nice, or maybe just after sunset. HD turns into a vampire at 10 PM, so we need to make sure that we're on the ground in about an hour and 20 minutes time. There's our brake check. Ugh. That's just woken up the passengers who have not yet strapped their seatbelts on.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, you are clear to cross runway 25 right and continue taxiing to holding point runway 25 left via Echo and Kilo.
Clear to cross 25 right, continue taxi, hold short 25 left via Echo and Kilo, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike. Now this is an active runway at the moment, so I am going to pop the strobes on. Farron, yeah, I probably need to get that. I've not got the Barcelona payway scenery just yet. Trying to work out if that's an aircraft I can see or if it's just my screen needs a clean. Probably the latter. Okay, so whilst we're taxiing nice and straight, let's go ahead and get the different things on down there. Not that any of them work, sadly. So, let's do our pets check. QNH 1009, no change, it's still going to be a Flex 62. Takeoff, engine out procedure is standard 1600 feet left turn to the Lesba holding point. Departure is the Lotus 4 Quebec, and we've got that set in the FMGC, and stop altitude is 6,000 feet. Checked, set. So before takeoff, checklist to the line. Flight controls are checked, departure briefing is confirmed, flap setting is config 1. FMA takeoff data 136 blue, 139 magenta, climb nav blue, 1FD2, 6000 blue, flex 62. ECAM memo takeoff no blue, EFB is stowed. So left straight after we've crossed this runway. This isn't an active runway, I'm not going to get the strobes on for this one. Slow down a little bit there for the turn. Coming up to one of my favourite times of day in Microsoft Flight Simulator, with the sun getting low in the sky. Look at those shadows. Absolutely wonderful.
Cabin crew seats for takeoff, please.
So, Dark Fury will beat us to Malaga. Ferran, you've been a member for 8 months. Thank you so much for your continued support, Ferran. 8 months. I hope it's flown by for you. Every single pun intended. Thank you very much for your support, Ferran. Really appreciate that. Quantum Mechanic, Dark is showing us an A320 on VATSIM. It'll be weird because, or rather not weird, I suppose it's because the AIG model matching knows that Ryanair will not fly an Airbus. So it shows it as the correct
Ryanair 15 whiskey
the correct aircraft.
To short 25 left.
Ryanair 15 whiskey, wind 310 degrees, 10 knots, and way 25 left, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway Ryanair 15 whiskey.
Lawrence, am I considering buying Track IR? It's not something I've really considered. Again, the less I can confuse matters, the more stable I think the PC and the sim are. Now, I was going to go via Golf 3, which is just down here. Although, HD, did you just give us our performance right from the end? Which actually, I still think doesn't matter. These are just turning points, aren't they? These are just, they're intersections, yes, but we still line up right at the end, so I don't think that matters. What a username on Twitch. Sparkling Testicle. Yes, my game's working far better after the full reinstall. Right, we'll bid farewell to Dark Fury. RPBC, no, I don't fly for any virtual airline.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, line up and wait, runway 25 left.
Line up and wait, runway 25 left, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike. Had I been thinking on, I should have turned off the parking brakes while we were sat there, flashing away at the Ryanair. Okay, so just check all of those are on.
Ryanair 15 Whiskey, no fuel ATC available. Monitor Unicom 122.8, thanks for flying.
Over to Unicom now, thanks for the service. Ryanair 15 Whiskey.
Taking off into the sun. Nice. So just a reminder on that takeoff that we need to begin our left-hand turn before.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, wind 310 degrees, 10 knots, runway 25 left, clear for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 25 left, Alpine 34 off Mike. Yeah, left turn before 500 feet and do not intersect this line or cross over it. Left turn before that. Okay, let's just reset the chrono and then we are ready to go. Before takeoff, checklist below the line. Cabin is secured, engine mode select is normal. TCAS, TARA, PAX, thank God for checklists. PAX are off and anti-ice is off. Okay, let's go. Engine number 2 is critical takeoff. Start the chrono. We just got that checklist in HD before you commented. And set takeoff thrust. Man flex, SRS, and runway. Just starting to feel that bit of wind now, a little bit of rudder needed putting in to keep us on that centre line.
100 now.
Checked. V1, rotate.
Positive brake first, gear up.
So an almost immediate left turn just there. And just following the flight directors. Autopilot 1 engaged. Set climb thrust. Thrust climb. Climb.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, no fuel to ATC available. Monitor Unicom 122, estimated, thanks for flying.
Over to DCOM, thanks for the service. Alpine 34 Alpha Mike. Bye bye.
Barcelona Tower, hello, Ryanair 27 Bravo Mike.
Another Ryanair.
Request IFR clearance to Krakow as filed. Information Charlie on board.
Ryanair 27 Bravo Mike, good evening. Information Charlie is QLand and you are clear to destination via Agena for Quebec departure. Runway 25 left.
Okay, so we can now pop that into managed speed.
6212.
S speed, flaps up, ground spoilers disarmed.
Clear to my destination as filed.
And we shall
5 left.
clear ourselves flight level
Agena
200.
For Quebec, initial climb 6,000 feet, squawk 6112, Ryanair 27 Bravo Mike.
Ryanair 27 Bravo Mike, negative, squawk 6212.
Squawk 6212, Ryanair 27 Bravo Mike.
27 Bravo Mike, feedback correct and report when ready for startup.
Yeah, so that flight route perhaps wasn't quite as nice as perhaps it should have been. I think what we'd be best doing now is going direct to Bravo Lima 47. I'll bring up the chart in a minute, guys, so you can just see what happened there. So we've just dinged the cabin crew. I've just popped that in heading mode, so it's just leveled the wings there, otherwise it's going to try and fly that track again. Let's go back to direct.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seatbelt fastened
That
while the
should draw
seatbelt
a
sign
new
is
line,
on.
that's better.
We recommend
Pop
that
that
you
back
keep your
in nav,
seatbelt fastened whenever
which
you
it
are
has.
seated. Toilets are located at each end of the cabin.
And
Remember
we're coming
that
up on
smoking
10,000
is
feet
not
in a
permitted
second.
at any time. This includes e-cigarettes.
It was the 4 Quebec, Christian. Lotus 4 Quebec. That's 10,000 feet. Lights off. Now just check the progress page. Flight level 390 is available to us, so let's set flight level 390, 390 blue. Now we're going to have a strong wind coming from the north today. That's starting to come in. For anyone that's scrolled through and looked at the SIGMET charts. Clear the RadNav page out, and I'll clear the fixes out as well. And yeah, then I shall just bring that chart up. And HD can answer the burning question: would the real aircraft have flown it correctly? Or would that be expected to be a manual departure? Okay, so here's the actual chart. You can see what happened. We took off, we made that left turn, it then brought us right all the way around out here, and then back to Dotis, and then after Barcelona 47. Obviously you can see what was meant to happen. So HD, would the real aircraft and the navigation in there have flown that correctly, or would we have had to fly that manually? Interesting point. Look forward to the answer on that one. So that's Dark Fury, who's about 22, 23 miles away from us, so that's okay. Good separation there. Turn the seatbelt signs off.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has now turned off the seatbelt sign and you are now free to move around the cabin. We do recommend, however, when in your seat, that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times in case of unexpected turbulence. The toilets are now available. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
Christopher, you did a massive S shape. Sorry, Christopher, you did a massive S shape. Christian, the important thing is not to cross the Barcelona 235 radial. Yeah, well, we made sure we didn't do that. We even had that using the fixes page. So HD, it would have flown to Route 163, but by the time it gets to that heading, it'll start turning back to Dotis. It wouldn't have done the silly overshoot that we did. Fair enough. Good to know the real aircraft doesn't make such errors. Obi-Wan, how can I see other planes on TCAS? Just because I've got still an experimental version, not the experimental version, that's poor choice of words from me, but I've got a test version that is still being tested, and I see things being doing to it every day, so they're clearly still working on it, and they only want to release it when it's 100% happy. HD, it's a coding issue, yeah, in the flyby, but it showed it on the ground. It did. Normally, as we've seen from the arrivals, it sort of works itself out, doesn't it, once we actually get to it. On this occasion, it didn't. So, if ever we depart Barcelona with this approach, with this departure again, we'll know what not to do. Dr. Magic, good evening. Malaga control is online, so it's actually Madrid control, I think, controls Malaga when Malaga aren't online. But here we go. Look at that jet stream now coming in. And look at the angle of the aircraft. Frostbite, it's self-loading cargo that's giving me all the cabin sounds today. So we're now just passing flight level 210.
Ryanair 27 Bravo Mike.
Ryanair 27 Bravo Mike, confirm you are facing west.
We are facing southwest, Ryanair 27 Bravo Mike.
And we're now on over to Unicom. HD, we could have discussed it in the brief as a potential threat because it didn't look right. That's a good point. Basically, if it looks like it hasn't sorted itself out after takeoff, make a turn to 163, go no further. Fair enough. Something we can definitely do in the future. I mean, it's not a difficult departure to hand fly out, is it? We've hand flown more difficult departures than that in the past. So we should be on the ground in about an hour, all being well. Which means that we should be on the ground at 21:57 Zulu time. For anyone wanting to be in bed by 10 o'clock here in the UK. I always get amazed by the fact that when you see the operational flight plan and you see the SIGMET charts, you then get into the simulator and there it is, there's that wind. HD, I was going to ask you what that abbreviation was. Is that tonight's Friday night quiz? What does TEM mean? I'm sure we can come up with all sorts of answers to that. Still on the climb out, and you can just see the coast on your right hand side of your screen there. Coast of Spain. Mark, thank you so much for your £2 super chat donation. Mark says you're enjoying the stream and the channel. Mark, you're very, very welcome. Thank you very much for your support. Very kind of you. Hope you've got a good weekend lined up. I'm loving all these answers. Threat evasion maneuver sounds pretty good from Quantum. Defy says terrific evening meal. Threat and error management. Oh, Christian! Gold star for you, Christian. You swat. Danny, you had that as well. Threat and error management. Dark Fury. I am so impressed, you guys. Chris Marty, there's no live weather bug now, as far as I'm aware. That's all disappeared. They have fixed it. Well, yeah, we're at flight level 270 now. We've got no issues. So all appears to be working just there. So I think we're leaving cloudless skies at Barcelona and heading over to cloud in Malaga. Not anything that we should have a problem with, but it's worth noting. Shad, is this the beta version? No, I didn't even want to consider downloading that. One, for stability issues, and two, I would presume there's some sort of NDA that you've got to sign, which would prevent me from streaming it anyway. Why is heading selected in the FCU? Again, good point. A bug I've seen in the past. We're on nav mode, and I'm not quite sure why it's not letting me do that. Can I go, if I pulled out, put open climb into heading. Now let's go into, well there we go, it just needed resetting, that's why. Open climb nav. So, yeah, not really sure is the answer to that. Fair, and I think a lot of people have had to roll back their NVIDIA drivers because there were a few crashed desktops. To be fair, this one is absolutely fantastic. I'm not even sure which one this is, to be perfectly honest with you. It was one that was downloaded and installed automatically following the reboot of Windows. It's not the latest one though. I checked that. I forget which one it is. But the frame rates now is the best I have ever had it since the sim first came out. Definitely, you tried the beta and you now want to reinstall 3. Ouch. Well, that was another thing as well, wasn't it? They said with the beta there could be a good chance that you're going to have to reinstall the whole sim. The only time I ever want to do that is if I decide to do it voluntarily. No other reason. Danny Robble, I think the answer to your question is 750 kilograms. Thank you to Mr. Monser and Marcus Lima for subscribing. So Quantum Mechanic, you've come across this bug as well before with the nav. Yeah, a bit of a pain, but never mind. Fallen quite lucky today with the arrival into Malaga. Malaga can be an absolute pain to get into if you're coming in from the north. And a northerly configuration, but today we're coming in from the south over the Med, so it's a bit easier. HD, the fuel transfers from the wing tanks to the centre tanks, doesn't it? Unless I'm misreading. Christopher, you wouldn't touch the beta version with a barge pole. Hang on. You're making me think now. Where's the fuel page? So fuel's drawn from the inner tanks. When the inner tanks drop below 750 kilogram, that's when the outer tank cross-feed valves open to fill in the inner tanks. And as you can see on that display there, and HD's just said, the fuel is taken from the centre tanks first. And when they drop below 750 kilograms of fuel, then the outer tanks start to transfer to the inner tanks. Nearly at our cruising altitude. What we've got? About 4,500 feet to go. Can the guys sat on the right hand side see Spain? Yeah, they can. Look at that. That's gorgeous, isn't it? Brook Aviation, hello. Von McLean, how you doing? Good to have you on board. It's amazing that you can join us at 35,000 feet. Captain HMW, there is a beta version of Microsoft Flight Simulator that Azobo have allowed people to sign up for and download and use, which basically you just become beta testers working for free. Migs, good day to you. Are you well? Let's clear the SD page off there, shall we? So anyone that is having trouble with their simulator, I can highly recommend reinstalling it from scratch. It's a pain, it took me 2 days, but definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. But not just the simulator, I reinstalled the entire PC, literally nuked it, set it back to factory settings, reinstalled Windows, the lot, and it's working beautifully, as hopefully you can witness. And the frame rates are far better.
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase a selection of hot beverages, together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we can be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
So I said we should probably be getting on the ground round about sunset, which I'm sure will look lovely. What are we at? 37,500 feet. With it not being the longest of flights, we're going to start looking at our arrival in a few moments. We'll get the weather as well. So I wonder if, after all that manually inputting the star, whether we're actually going to need it, or whether ATC are just going to give us vectors in. So, just while I'm continuing to climb to cruise, I've got 1,000 feet to go. I'm just scouring the arrival information. So we're going to be landing runway 31, I believe it is. In fact, have I got any ATIS available for Malaga? Don't think I have. Oh, Malaga Tower's online, 11815. Right, so we should have the control frequency, and we should have tower in as well. So, does that mean... turn up the lighting there. Does that mean that we've got any ATIS that we can be listening to? I'm just aware we're close to our cruising altitude now. Oh no, I don't want METAR, I want ATIS. Send that off. Guys, is the stream back to being in HD again? Mac Alt Star. And Alt Cruise. Oh, there's no ATIS available. Maybe Tower's only just come online. Oh, hang on. Oh, well, they just disappeared again. Ah, alright. In that case, we're going to be doing it ourselves, which means, yes, it is going to be runway 31 for us. We'll stick with the plan. So, Malaga, runway 31. and we will be on the, which star is it? It's the VBAS 1 Zulu that will be arriving in.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck once again, just to let you know that we've reached our cruising altitude for today and we're not anticipating any major delays or bad weather ahead, so we should be arriving on time as planned. The cabin crew will now start to make their way around the aircraft, so please make sure that the aisles are clear of any items you may have, and I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. A reminder that our EasyJet Sim pilot members are able to take advantage of free drinks throughout the duration of the flight. Thank you, and we shall have an update for you shortly.
Okay, so I'm going to do a fuel check once we get to Valencia in about 15 miles time. Let's just get that latest weather information. I still don't press the print button. Oh, look at that, right. 318. Gusting 29. Visibility is fine though. Temperature is 17 degrees. That's nice for this time of year. QNH 1021. No changes. I'm going to go ahead and get that in nice and early. So QNH is 1021, and if that changes, I know that you guys will let me know. And here comes the ping from Malaga, not Malaga, Madrid, 13375. Should have spun this dial in the opposite direction.
Spain 15 Lima en el Almería 22 instrumental a Málaga, está copiar.
Spain 15 Lima, muy buenas. ¿Qué tal, Guillermo? Pues estás autorizado a Málaga con Cunen 1 Alfa, ascenso 170 y responden 4402.
Hola Antonio, autorizado a Málaga con Cunen 4 al 1 Alfa.
Does anybody speak Spanish?
Respondemos 4402. Spain 15 Lima.
15 Lima, correcto.
Malaga, correction, Madrid Control, good evening. Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, flight level 390 inbound Sierra.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, good evening, radar contact, expect VBAS 1 Zulu arrival for runway 31 Malaga.
Expect the VBAS 1 Zulu arrival, runway 31, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike.
Madrid Control, good evening. Top Swiss 62 Yankee Quebec with you, flight level 390 inbound Pobos.
So we already know the runway visual range
Yankee Quebec. Hello, squawk
is
4425.
10 kilometers or more.
Squawk 4425, Top Swiss 62 Yankee Quebec.
So it's going to be... We meet the Mr. Approach climb gradient there, I'm certain of that, without having to have some performance checks done. So it's going to be 320, 320 feet at Mr. Approach, sorry, our decision altitude. Transition altitude is 6,000 feet, platform is 2,000, no it isn't, it's 1,700, minimum safe altitude as we're coming is 4,200.
VBAS 1 Zulu, runway 31,
ILS is 1099,
Yankee Quebec.
Airport elevation 31, the missed approach is quite something here. So missed approach altitude is 6,000 feet. So let's just quickly talk about that missed approach and then we'll work out how we're going to do the descent. We've got ATC anyway, but missed approach altitude, climb runway heading to the Malaga, not the Malaga, the Malaga Aeroporto South, VOR. Left turn max 210 knots, so that's going to be flaps 1.
Volotea 112, autorizado nivel de vuelo
Intercept radial
090,
269
llegada domingo 1 Quebec a la
MLG
30.
to 7.7 miles, right turn 360, intercept 147.
Volotea 112,
Martin
autorizado nivel 090 con domingo 1 Quebec para la 30.
Pascal, thank you so much for your very, very kind donation there, Pascal. Use this to buy some paella when we get into Malaga. Oh, Pascal, if only we could do that in real life, that would be fantastic. Thank you so much, very, very kind of you.
Portugal 783, 11 miles, space, Unicorn 122.8.
HD, no, when we've got two engines, we shouldn't have any problems with our performance gradients. Now I just want to work out roughly where I want that top of descent to start. So flight level 110 at Nezda. We're currently at flight level 390. So if we start that descent, what's our wind doing now? It's more of a crosswind, isn't it? About 90 miles away, it should be fine. So let's put a ring around that.
Volotea 112, Madrid.
Madrid radar, volotea 112, adelante.
Sí, 112, cuarta llamada ya. Autorizado nivel 090, domingo 1 Quebec para la 30.
There we go, so we're about 100 miles away from our top of descent, so a little bit of time to go through that missed approach.
Estábamos fuera.
112, sin problema.
Obviously, of course,
domingo 1 Quebec.
we don't have the go-around track in there, so we're going to kind of make this up ourselves from the information we've been given.
Ready for descent, please.
So, let's fill out the radar page first. We want Mike, Lima Golf in there.
2504, thank you.
Con llegada domingo 1 Quebec, volotea
240 miles away.
gracias.
Get that turned on. That's also good information for us for situational awareness and how far we are away. So that's the Mike Lima Golf.
1-5 Lima, claro que sí.
And
1 Eco, por supuesto.
once we've got there, we're going to make a left turn to intercept the 269 radial from Mike Lima Golf. So again, using the fixers page. And then from there, from there we fly to a distance of 7.7 miles from the VOR.
When ready, descend flight 180 for runway 8.
Turn right, head north to intercept the 147 radial from the MAR VOR. And that is a holding point for us. If I was to make it easier HD, I would just turn left, get our backside up above minimum safe altitude up to 6,000 feet and just go direct to the Martin VOR, which, in fairness, given the startle factor, is probably exactly what I would do. They basically want you on the they want you on that 147 radial just because it takes you straight into the hold, nice and straightforward, doesn't it? But yeah, left turn, direct Martin VOR. But in case anyone wants to see what that looks like now, I do, after I've just put it all in.
Calam 010, descent, flight level 170.
I mean, to be fair, that isn't that convoluted when you look at it there. It's basically left-hand turn, straight out on this radial until you get to 7.7 DME away, and then you head north to intercept the radial inbound just there. much nicer when you can actually see it on the display.
Top 362 Yankee Quebec descent flight level 180.
Okay,
Descent
let's
flight level 180,
talk
Cockpit 62
about
Yankee Quebec.
the actual approach and how we're going to do it. So I know we've planned now basically to start our top of descent based on flight level 110 at Nesda. From here, we've still got plenty of miles to go. So once we head down and then pick up the initial approach fix with his PSAV,
This is the radar.
Which shows
we
there?
would like to return back to Malaga. We have some issues with our
oh, interesting.
onboard systems. November 7 Golf.
Oh, a return. I like it. Okay, so I want to be green dot before PSAV. I want flaps 1 leaving PSAV, flaps 2 as we get the glide slope. So green dot before PSAV, flaps 1 leaving PSAV.
November 7
Then
Golf,
flaps
able
2.
to follow headings for the approach?
Affirmative, November 7 Golf.
November 7 Golf, fly heading 130 degrees, descent, flight level 170.
130
Looking a
and
little bit hazy,
170
isn't it?
for the altitude, November 7 Golf.
Planet 2504, fly direct, correct, Kilo Uniform Romeo Echo Tango.
Directly correct, Kilo Uniform Romeo Echo Tango, runner 2504.
Now, of course, we've planned how we're going to do that approach and where I want each configuration to be set up. With ATC, if we get a direct, we'll lose a few track miles, so we just need to be aware of that as well.
Runner 8, Uniform Bravo, descent, flight level 170.
Descent level 170, run out Uniform Bravo.
So guys, if you've enjoyed the Friday night flight so far, then please do hit that like button on stream. Makes a huge difference to the channel.
112, ¿me puede confirmar QNH en Bilbao?
112 se lo damos en cuanto esté usted por debajo del nivel de transición. Y de momento le puedo decir 1020, pero le confirmaremos de nuevo el QNH.
Perfecto, pues esperamos al QNH. Voloteo 112.
So who's just said they're still having flying white? You're still having crashed the desktops after. Okay, yeah. I think the only thing you can do really is reinstall the simulator, which is very annoying. But there you are.
Calan 75 Uniform, buenas noches. Radar contact. You can expect Barcelona 2 Delta arrivals, runway 32 left.
I know a few people have had issues.
2 left at Madrid.
And I too was having crashed the desktops quite recently until I reinstalled everything. Seems to have done the job, but it is a pain.
And Calan 75 Uniform, confirm you have Banef 2 Delta arrival?
Yes, the 2 Delta arrival for Calan 75 Uniform, affirm.
Thank you. Calan 010, proceed direct, Mosul intersection.
So I'm now just starting to listen out to ATC, just in case they give us any directs, which obviously affects our track mileage. That said, we can see where the intersection is for our top of descent, so that shouldn't cause us too many issues.
Change cruise level, flight level 360, please.
And 1984, ATM, climb flight level 360.
Thank you very much, flight level 360, right at 194.
I think we may have tipped this right, that the sun should just be heading down as we start to come into Malaga. Quantum, you resisted reinstalling for far too long. Yeah, me too. Christian, what are you looking for, mate? At the bottom left of the
November 7 Golf, contact Malaga,
approach chart.
118.45, expedite your descent. Goodbye.
118.45 and
what after? The ILS DME reads 0 at the runway 31 threshold. No overfly zone, runway 31. Is that right? Is that what you're after?
Vas a entrar calentito, despegando a tiempo.
Perfecto.
Delta 51 Hotel, Unicorn 122, that's Malay, goodbye, sir.
Welcome back, HD.
5 Hotel, Unicorn, goodbye.
You've missed nothing.
Shanghai Air 9330, Madrid, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Shanghai Air 9330.
Shanghai Air 9330, thank you, squawk 47.
Christian, I'd have to double check. I think it's the overfly zone. HD, can you just double check something for me? ILS, DME read 0, runway 31 threshold, no overfly zone, runway 31. Is that right?
4763.
But 4763. Shanghai Air 9330.
Marcastaning a 1000 pies, volotea 112.
Volotea 112, mantengan 090. Timer 120, Unicorn 122, that's Malay, goodbye, sir.
Take full advantage of your
Alright, over the dark side. Meow. See ya!
Make some amazing savings. In your in-flight brochure, you'll find details of our award-winning selection of gifts, most
Ryanair 15 Whiskey, descent level 170.
exclusive to you as an EasyJet customer. Make the most of your opportunity to shop and save from the comfort of your seat. If you'd like to see any products, have any questions, or would like to make great savings, then just ask us as we join you.
Chatham 010, report your indicator airspeed.
Another thing to bring into our arrival brief, we're going to look to vacate at Echo 5.
290, hold above, thank you.
And then, where is Alpha 3?
Top Suite 62, Yankee Quebec, say your indicator airspeed.
270 knots, top Swiss 62 Yankee Quebec.
62 Yankee Quebec, thank you. 270 all the way down to flight level 170.
270 all the way down to 170, top Swiss 62 Yankee Quebec.
Obstacle free zone, there we go.
Q12 flight 370.
Chatham 010, flying direct Pisa, Papa India Sierra Alpha.
Flying White, how is that light in Spain, isn't it? 10:30. Yes, it is. We're on live weather, but we're not on live time. Just because we did an evening stream the other night, so we've just thought we'd have a nice sunset approach today. A little bit of turbulence cropping in there.
Chatham 010, direct Pisa, contact.
Ah, Christian,
Malaga
you've also found an explanation. Go for it.
Bye.
Ooh, Malaga approach is online now, 11845.
Ryanair 2504, contact Malaga approach, 118.45, goodbye.
Over to Malaga on 118.45, thanks for service, enjoy the rest of your evening and we'll see you soon, adios.
We'll pop that in the standby so it's good and ready. So Malaga 80s, our ILS Zulu approach runway 31 in use. QNH 1021. Visibility more than 10,000 kilometers, scattered 3,500, temperature 17. Excellent, that's the METAR that we've popped in. Papa Victor 981, we can request descent, we can't just do it. HD, can you disconnect the auto thrust permanently for the rest of this flight? If yes, then how? I want to answer this. Okay, I'm 30-40 seconds behind you guys anyway. So, yes, you can by pressing the red auto thrust disconnect button for, I want to say something like 40 seconds. It's quite a long time, isn't it? Might not be that long. but I guess I'll find out soon. Oh, I've just seen Dark Fury now say 15 seconds. That sounds a little bit more realistic. Alpine 34 Alpha Mike requesting our descent, please. Wasn't much of an answer there, was there?
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, sorry for the delay. Descent flight level 170.
Flight level 170, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike. Down we go.
Runway 8 Uniform
Flight
Bravo
level
contact
170 set, so thrust light low and descent 170.
Malaga 18.45 for runway 8 Uniform Bravo, has to let go.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck once again, you have
Leverage Control, good evening, Airport Show 1357 at flight level 370 with you.
Portugal 1357, good evening, squawk 4466.
are able to make their way around the aircraft.
Squawk 4466, Airport Show 1357.
Most appreciated.
Target 5, Charlie Whiskey, the Mile Space, Unicorn 122.8, goodbye.
122.8 for Tomjet, 5 Charlie Whiskey, thanks for your help, see you soon, ciao.
The toilets will shortly go out of use. Thank you.
Oh, well done, Doc, yeah. I knew you could do it, but I couldn't for the life of me recall exactly how many seconds you had to hold it for. I wonder if that's simulated in this. I'm not going to try it. I need a lot more practice flying with manual thrust.
Walker 1319, the Mile Space, Unicorn 122.8, goodbye, sir.
Just going to start to gently increase that speed a little bit so we can get down in time.
QNH 1020.
QNH 1010, descendemos 1000 pies.
Voltea 112, QNH 1020.
The other Mark, the controller doesn't get a notification as far as I'm aware, but he knows his airspace, he knows when aircraft need to start issuing the descent, and it's then up to the pilot to select the correct descent rate.
Stops with 62 Yankee Quebec. Respond 15 Lima.
Oh, HD, I'm going to say you downgraded to Cat 2. That's my 2 penneth.
260.
Friday night is quiz night. Making us think on a Friday. Oh, you also lose the protections. Yeah, you lose the protections, don't you? Does that put you into alternate law? So Alpha Prot has gone, hasn't it? How many track miles we got left to run? 123.
60 Yankee Quebec, Malaga approach 118.45, goodbye.
118.45, top Swiss 62 Yankee Quebec. Thank you, adios, senor.
Volotea 112, autoriza aproximación ILS Zulu, pista 30.
Autoriza aproximación ILS, pista 30, volotea 112, muchas gracias.
I'm going to let you guys answer HD's questions now. I'm concentrating on this descent. I've got terrain beneath me.
Out of cockpit for 1 minute.
If you check the moors as well, you need to make sure we keep nice and safe of those.
Approved. And when ready, descend flight level 250.
Approved, and when ready, descending 250, okay, I'm 75 uniform.
Shanghai Air 9330, you are identified, confirm initial cruise level requested.
And for anyone just wondering regarding the moors, minimum off-route altitude as we're coming in now is actually increasing. You can actually see as well the mountains poking out from this cloud layer.
Airmaroc 619er, contact back Malaga 118.45.
118.45, so Airmaroc 619er.
Shouldn't be long before we get handed off to Malaga approach as well, so need to keep an eye out for that. Oh, HD, yeah, you'd lose alpha floor. Sorry, I thought that fell under alpha protections. So you lose the alpha prot toggle lock and you lose alpha floor as well.
Canon 75 uniform torture.
Christian, alpha floor is reliant on auto thrust because
you're about 3 minutes space.
it puts you into toga, doesn't it?
So is that for Speedbird 992?
992, son.
Okay, over the dark side there for Speedbird 992. See you later, meow.
Volotea 112, aceleren el descenso para interceptar la senda. Están bajando un poquito espacio hasta ahora.
What time are we on? HD, you've got to be in bed in 24 minutes.
Decidimos ahora, incrementamos descenso, volotea 112.
Ryanair 15 Whiskey, contact Malaga approach 118.45, goodbye.
Contact approach on 118.45, thanks for your service, Ryanair 15 Whiskey.
We shouldn't be landing into the sun either. That should have disappeared out to the west as we're coming in.
at flight level 370.
Easy 212, thank you for calling. Radar contact expect Book 3 Juliet Malaga.
Contact Malaga. Thank you very much. Gracias.
Negative, so negative. You're on radar contact Book 3 Juliet, you can expect from Malaga.
Okay, profile is looking good. We've got 100 miles to go.
A firm, sorry, my headphones are very slight, so please repeat.
Easy 212, radar contact, you can expect Bulpe 3 Juliet arrival to Malaga.
3 Juliet arrival, EasyJet 212.
Wayne, alpha floor is what you hit after one too many rums when your internal gyro fails.
Goodbye.
Over to the dark side for Ryanair 194. Good night. Meow.
Am I missing something here? What on earth is the dark side? Is he a Sith Lord? Bet that looks rather nice. Left hand side views as we bank across. Can't fail to have your breath taken away by this simulator at times.
El Ryanair 2504 rumbo norte 360 y pa, Ariel S ahí rapidito.
Madrid Radar, voloteo 1-1, estamos teniendo unos problemas con el ILS, tenemos que, seguramente...
Mark, dark side is someone who flies Boeing. GD, the dark side is my ex.
Voloteo 112, recibido, le confirmo en este momento la visibilidad es de 7 kilómetros.
TCAS traffic on as well.
Por llovizna y en el techo de nubes está a 5.000 pies, ya lo han rebasado ustedes.
We needed to be below flight level 210 as well at Moscow, and we are, so that's good.
Pues notificaremos con campo a la vista en presente rumbo, voloteo 112.
112, me confirma, ¿no reciben señal del ILS?
Negativo, no recibimos señal del ILS, no sabemos por qué, está todo bien, será un fallo del simulador.
Volopea 112, ¿pueden por favor confirmarme qué frecuencia tienen del ILS de Bilbao? Nos confirman por favor tienen
Okay, so I'm just going to
110.3.
slow down our rate to descent a little bit now. 1500 feet per minute should have us nicely on a profile.
110.3.
Madrid Radar, voloteo 112, esto afirma 110.3, la 30.
Should we wind it the correct way? Numpty.
Copiado, en ese caso sí lo tienen bien.
1500 feet minus.
Nada, será un problema de simulador. Realizamos aproximación manual si no tiene problema.
Sin problema.
Madrid, good evening again. Hola Mark 619 at flight level 130.
Para 619, hello again, radar contact continues clear.
Talia, you're watching as Windows forces an update mid-flight. Oh no!
Roger.
HD, I didn't even get as far as FMAs. I saw the VS bar pointing upwards. I thought, hang on a minute, that can't be right.
You can expect Pushback 3 Juliet arrival for runway 31.
Just confirm the arrival for runway 32 Papa Mike, please.
Runway 31, sir.
And here we go, leveling off Alt Star at flight level 170.
Bulpe 3 Juliet, runway 31.
3 Juliet, thanks.
And there's Alt. Today I had a window screen flash there for a sec. Yes, I did. I hovered my mouse over the wrong part of my taskbar on the second screen and it just sort of minimised everything. Shouldn't be long before we get handed over to approach control. Loving the clouds in the valleys, really nice.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, descend flight level 140.
140 Alpine 34 Alpha Mike. And again, we're nicely below the profile, so I don't need to race down too quickly. 1500 feet should be plenty. So speed VS minus 1500. I think I saw in the charts for this airport, Malaga, they can't accept the A350. Specifically the A350, and it made me think, why? It doesn't say anything about an A380 or anything daft like that. Wow. That looks stunning. How amazing does that look? It's hard not to sightsee.
Campo a la vista, voltea 112.
Voltea 112, vientos 30018, pista 30, autoriza aterrizar.
Now, I'm looking on my TCAS here.
Vientos copiados, autoriza aterrizar, pista 30.
It's looking like ATC is pulling them off the star. We're going to get vectored in, so we can be prepared for that now. No point descending any quicker, as it looks like we're actually getting a few extra miles. So, out over the med and then back in and around. Approach checklist minimums are not set. Why aren't the minimums set? We know what they are.
KLM 75 uniform requesting descent.
KLM 75 uniform descent, flight level 140, transition level.
140 transition.
Okay, so our minimums are set. 320.
PC 112, live my space.
Engine mode selection is normal. Flight bag is stowed.
122 place 8, thanks for ATC. Bye bye.
And Mark, yeah, despite the issues, Microsoft Flight Simulator is very impressive. Well, just take a look. Indeed, very impressive. For 8, no, TCAS is not yet there. This is still a test build, I'm afraid. I don't know when it's going to be available, but it seems to me to be working pretty well. Christian, I was wondering who was going to point that out. I could fly like the others and get vectored, or I could just cut in.
Mike, descent flight level 900.
Descent flight level 90, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike. Thrust idle open descent 090 blue.
Radio control, good night, Condor 1434 inbound at left flight level 370.
Malaga approach is still online, I was just double checking that. I'm wondering when they're going to hand us off.
Condor 1434.
So leave this to descend in open descent, because I'm going to start slowing down soon. 250 knots.
Continuous clear, Condor 1434.
Below 10,000 feet. Hey Nick! Didn't know you were here. He was summoned by the opportunity of cutting in. Oh, we love you really, mate. You're just never going to let it down. Now, we're still flying the...
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, maintain present heading, contact approach 118.45, report heading 180 degrees.
Over to Malaga approach and maintain 180 degrees, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike. He just got to us a fraction late there, didn't he?
Ryanair 2404 vacated Echo 5 and request stand 23, please.
Ryanair 2504, continue taxi, stand at your discretion, gate Golf, please.
We'll cut Ryanair 2504.
Malaga approach, good evening, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, heading 180, descending, flight level 90.
Alpine 35 Alpha Mike, stand by, please. Ryanair 8 Uniform Bravo, wind is 290 degrees, 15 knots, runway 31, clear to land.
Clear 1, clear to land, Ryanair 8 Uniform Bravo.
Landing lights are on. Approach phase activated.
Ryanair 15 Whiskey, turn right, heading 3 negative, here, stand by.
No rush to get down, really, is there, at the minute?
Ryanair 15 Whiskey, turn right and heading 330, please.
Right heading 330, Ryanair 15 Whiskey.
Ryanair 15 Whiskey, you can descend altitude 3000 feet, QNH 1022.
Down to 3000, QNH 1022, Ryanair 15 Whiskey.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, Malaga approach, hello, identify, expect ILS Zulu runway 31. Continue, descend altitude 6000 feet, QNH 1022.
Expect ILS Zulu runway 31, descend 6,000 feet, QNH 1022, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike. And so we've got speed 1,000 feet per minute, 6,000 blue. And we're just going to pop that into open descent now. Landing system's on, but we're just a bit too far away to pick that up, and a bit too high, of course.
Español 5 Lima, por su derecha rumbo 350 para interceptar, notifique establecido, ILS Zulu pista 31.
350, variante aceptable, se autoriza el S31.
Flight plans now sequenced.
Llamamos establecido, Spain 5 Lima.
Alpine 3-4 Alpha Mike, turn right, heading 270.
Right heading 270, Alpine 3-4 Alpha Mike.
Runway 8 Uniform Bravo vacated on Echo 3.
Ryanair 8 Uniform Bravo, continue via gate 9, stand at your discretion, please.
Okay, 9 stand of discretion, Ryanair 8 Uniform Bravo, thanks for the service, that's the radar.
Ryanair 15 Whiskey, on heading 330, clear ILS Zulu, runway 31, report established.
Don't know if I can delete that top one, let's try.
Ryanair 15 Whiskey.
Alpine 3-4 Alpha Mike, continue descent altitude 3000 feet.
Continue descent altitude 3000, Alpine 3-4 Alpha Mike.
Establecido, España 5 Lima.
España 15 Lima, continúe, susto número 2.
Continuamos, España 5 Lima.
This is going to be a very long ILS capture, isn't it?
Alpine 3-4 Alpha Mike, straight ILS approach, runway 31.
Clear ILS approach Alpine.
Ladies and
3-4 Alpha
gentlemen,
Mike,
we will shortly be landing. Please ensure your cabin bag
We're
is
too
safely
far away
stowed with
to
your
actually
laptop
get that.
inside.
So,
your tray table must be stowed, armrest down, and window
Alpine
blinds
3-4
open.
Alpha Mike,
You now need to be seated
are
with
you
your
able
seatbelt
to
fastened, ready for
fly
landing.
straight, or do you need a vector?
Any rubbish, newspapers, or magazines that you do not want to take with you.
Alpine 3-4
The
Alpha Mike
toilets
now
are no
turning
longer in service.
right to fly towards ILS for runway 31.
Okay, it's correct.
We're just too far away to pick it up. I mean, how far away are we? 28 miles.
Tops 62 Yankee Quebec requesting landing clearance.
So I've slowed that down 500 feet per minute.
Oh, sorry, is top 62 Yankee Quebec, wind is 29
And now
degrees,
let's
15 knot, runway 31, clear to land.
slowing down a little bit. There it is.
Clear to land, runway 31, top Swiss 62
So
Yankee
we've obviously
Quebec.
just come about a little bit too much. Let's get ourselves back online. We're just too far out to pick that up. So, lock blue. And we'll just tease
Alpine
ourselves
3,
back on
4
that.
Alpha Mike, speed 180 knot until mile 10, 160 until 4.
180 knots till 10 and 160 until 4 miles DME, Alpine 3-4 Alpha Mike.
Ryanair 1 Alpha with 15 Whiskey, speed
Flaps 1, speed
180
checked,
knots
flaps
until
1.
mile 10, 160 until 4.
180 until 10, 160 until 4. Ryanair 15 Whiskey.
Despedido 5 Lima, espero autorización tardía.
Speed set to 180 knots.
Gracias. Top switch 62 Yankee Quebec, via gate 12, stand at your discretion.
Right, gate 12, stand to my discretion. Top Swiss 62 Yankee Quebec, thank you, good night.
Español 5 Lima, el viento es 290 grados 15 nudos, pista 31, autorizado a aterrizar.
So once again, we are aiming to vacate on Echo 5, which is our second taxiway that we will see. Rapid exit taxiway. So we're going to maintain 180 knots now until 10 miles DME. Just in case anything goes wrong, either with us or of course the aircraft in front, to go around will be Toga, go around flaps, rotate, positive rate, gear up, FMAs. And we'll further go around in flaps 1. Alt star, glide slope lock blue now showing. Here comes that localizer. There we go, lock star.
Ryanair 15 Whiskey is now established.
18 miles.
Ryanair 15 Whiskey, continue.
Foco, Ryanair 15 Whiskey.
Pista libre, España 5 Lima.
Ryanair 15 Whiskey, wind is 290 degrees 15 knots, runway 31, clear to land.
FMAs before positive climb, check you've got toga and
Ryanair 15 Whiskey.
GA track showing.
Ryanair 15 Whiskey, clear to land.
España 5 Lima, pues por puerta 9, por favor, están a su discreción.
Por la 9 a la discreción, España 5 Lima, gracias por el servicio, hasta luego.
España 5 Lima, precaución, tenemos un tráfico por su izquierda. Mantenga corto Golf la puerta 9, por favor.
Sí, mantenemos corto después del TAP Swiss, España 5 Lima.
Warm enough that we do not need anti-ice. 14 miles. Flaps 2 will come out when we see the glide slope moving. Yeah, I always leave the FMAs too late, the FMA check.
Después del tráfico, ya pueden seguir, están a su discreción.
A la discreción, España 5 Lima.
Malaga approach, good evening, Ryanair 321, 1049 of QNH 1022, request aircraft room to Palma de Mallorca, formation on score on board.
Ryanair 321, hello, good afternoon, Palma approach, sorry, Malaga approach.
Sorry, DK Gaming, hello to you.
Palma de Mallorca, Rolas 1 Papa, departure, runway 31,
runway inside.
4401.
Clear to destination Mallorca via Rolas 1 Papa
So,
departure.
let's take a little look at that wind. We were expecting it to be a bit blustery with some gusts as well.
Ryanair 321, read back correct.
Here comes the glide slope, flaps 2, speed checked, flaps 2. Can you imagine turning up for your first day of work with a pile of post-it notes to stick on the glare shield? And that's 10 miles. We want 160 knots to 4 miles DME. Oh, zoomed out in the wrong place. That's annoying. Glide slope start, missed approach altitude 6,000 feet. Set. Timed it perfectly for a nice scenic approach, didn't we? Look at that. That's beautiful. We're going to maintain this now till 4 miles DME. HD, it's bedtime. Start configuring once we drop below 6 miles for the final set of configurations. So landing gear, spoilers, flaps full. There it is, 6 miles. So landing gear, Spoilers. Check I have got auto brake low set, haven't I? Yes. Flaps 3, speed checked. Flaps 3. And flaps full. I could have delayed going flaps full just for half a mile, so we'll run that landing checklist. Now, slowing down. Okay, landing checklist. Cabin is secured. Auto thrust. Speed. Go around altitude. 6,000. Set. Landing.
34 Alpha Mike,
Memo,
wind to
landing
990 degrees 15 knots. Runway 31, clear to land.
Clear to land runway 31. Alpine 34 Alpha Mike.
Ryanair 15 Whiskey via gate 12, standard your discretion.
Okay, 1,000 feet to go.
Standard discretion.
Autopilot off, I have control. Pappies are looking good. Just keep an eye on that wind. It's dropped off a little bit actually. So obviously targeting the centre line and just a little bit of nose down just to keep us on the correct glide path. Get us back set there.
500.
500 feet, approach is stable. So easy to overcorrect on this. Freeware mod as well from flightsim.to for the scenery that we're landing in just now.
300.
Oh, that's a little bit bumpy. I don't know if you guys saw that. I felt it.
200.
Ryanair 321 49er, request pushback and start.
Ryanair 321, standby please.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
And spoilers deployed. Reverse green. Decel. Reverse is off. Disconnect the auto brake. Foot brakes weren't doing the job there. Let's get off this runway.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats
Ryanair
for
321,
related duties.
push and start approved, facing
We ask that you remain seated
southeast.
until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched
Push and start approved, facing southeast.
Portable
Ryanair
electronic
321.
devices for messaging, calls or internet access may now be used. Please make sure that you take all your personal belongings with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath the seat and in the overhead
Alpine
line.
34 Alpha Mike, welcome to Malaga. Continue via Alpha, gate 7, stand 33.
Reach a designated smoking area. On behalf of
Continue
the
via
captain and crew,
Alpha
it
Gate
has been
7,
our pleasure looking
stand
after you today.
3
Our ground
for
crew will
Alpine
help
34
you
Alpha Mike.
complete your EasyJet journey. For the latest news, promotions, flight and destination information, check out our official Facebook page, Twitter or EasyJet app.
Where is stand 3-3? Oh, I see. We've gone the wrong way, so we're going to have to come back on Bravo. Entire Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, we okay to make a right on Golf 13 onto Bravo?
Alpine Alpha Mike, you are taxiing in opposite way. Please turn right next intersection and stand at your discretion.
Roger, gate stand at our discretion, turning right onto Bravo for Alpine 34 Alpha Mike.
Gate 13.
Well, we took extra fuel. Let's use it. So they wanted on stand 3-3. We can do that as long as we're not getting in the way of anyone here on Bravo. We didn't say we were going to, so we should be okay. So we'll go straight down here, and he originally wanted us at gate 7. I must admit, it completely confused me when he said gate 7 and then stand 3-3. I thought the gate and the stand was the same thing, so yeah, that completely threw me just then. But never mind. And so our gate will be this one over here. Quantum Mechanics, thank you so much for your $5 donation. Nice landing, and you really needed the stream today. Great way to finish your week, isn't it? Thank you so much for that, Quantum. Really do appreciate it.
Sierra, Malaga Pros, reliability 5.
November 45XA Sierra, would it be possible to do any touch and goes today?
So that's Romeo 6.
November 46 Sierra, I have to inform you that Malaga Pros is closing in 5 minutes or in 10 minutes, no more. You want to continue your flight?
And stand 33 should be, if I've read the map correctly. 35
is approved, non-standard departure. On
33.
Climb on runway heading 3,000 feet and expect further clearance for approach. The QNH is 1022, the runway is 31, squawk 4420.
Just sucks that poor guy into the engine. What we should also have done, of course, is turn those off. And that off.
We've got information Oscar, and our squawk code is 4420.
I'm really happy with the scenery at Malaga, because for a while I avoided Malaga because it had issues in the default scenery. Thankfully, this fantastic freeware mod from FlightSim.to is great. All the signs were correct as well. It's just my parking that wasn't. Right, we're now on stand. Let's get engines shut down. Seatbelt signs off. Beacon lights can come off once below 10% M1. There it is. Thanks very much, HD. Speak to you very soon. Let's call our jetway over. Get the flight pad turned back on, shall we? Connect up the external power. APU bleed on. Ground services. Are they knocking about? There they are. And we will look to deboard. Finally, transponder to 2000. Set standby. And of course, fuel pumps off as well. Great stuff. Oh, well guys, thank you so much for your company this evening. I hope you enjoyed that. I've really enjoyed this flight into Malaga. As I say, Malaga, the default scenery at Malaga was absolutely terrible. It had a runway missing for starters. Well, now that has all been replaced by this freeware scenery from FlightSim.to. Go ahead and get yourself that. And as you can see, both runways are there. All the ILS works as well. We even got stand numbers, which is useful all the taxiway signs are correct as well. I just hadn't got a clue where we were going. And yeah, definitely an airport to revisit in the future, either for departure and of course for landing. If ever we come in, the wind's blowing the other way, and the landing comes in on the opposite runway to that which we've used today, that is a very not difficult but thought-provoking approach. Look at the terrain that is over there. You've got to be very careful with how you plan that descent to make sure nothing daft happens when you're coming in at Malaga. Not easy to do straight off the bat, so we'll have to fly here perhaps one day when the winds are flying in the opposite direction. Thanks so much guys for watching. For those of you who've donated and contributed to the channel's upkeep during the flight this evening, thank you so much, really do appreciate that. And of course to our EasyJet SimPilot channel members, thank you so much for your continued support. Hope you have a great weekend everyone. Fingers crossed we'll be back Sunday evening with the I-95 stream. It's been a while, we need to get back on that, but it's a busy time leading up to Christmas, isn't it? So hopefully you'll forgive me if that doesn't go ahead, but the plan at the moment is for that to continue on Sunday evening. Have a great weekend everyone. See you all very soon. Good night.